What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Society. In this video, we're going to be welding some holes in a trunk, bondoing them, primering them, and then prepping the rest of the vehicle for paint. So let's go ahead and let's get started on the trunk. All right, so we got the trunk, and I talked to you guys in previous episodes that the trunk had some work done to it. Now, there used to be an XM spoiler that was here, and it looks like it was plugged with just Bondo. Now, in this episode today, we're actually going to fix it by welding. And I will say, I don't know too much about welding, but I know a guy that does. Say what's up, Bodie Vision in the house. He's going to help us and show us how to use your regular Home Depot welder to patch some holes. So let's see what happens. Oh, bullseye. All right, let's try this again. Bullseye. So yeah, it looks like it was filled with Bondo. Let's take a look at the back side and see what we got. And we got two holes filled with Bondo. Thank God Bodie's here because that's going to be fixed. It's never going to shrink again. Now we're going to sand it down to metal so we can get it ready to weld. And on the back side, we're going to do the same thing. Go ahead and clean up the areas you can't get with a sander with a wire wheel. Then take some sandpaper inside of the holes to clean them out further. Then you want to go ahead and grind off to metal an area for your ground clamp. So we got our two holes down now. There's a couple different ways we can weld it, and Bodie's going to explain it to me. So show me what we're going to do right here.
Yeah, so the first thing that most people would think to do is we want to put a patch on the other side, but then you're going to have a big square and it's going to be really ugly, and we want this to be nice as possible from the top side and the bottom side. So the technique that I'm going to use is, as I have my welder, I'm just going to slowly start to try to build some up here really slowly, and then eventually walking my way out really slowly, and then just connecting. The key is to get a little bit established, and then you can weld on top of the weld that's already there. That looks extremely ugly, and we're aware of that, but what we really want to focus on is, number one, that we have enough metal top and bottom, so when we grind it away, it's just all metal.
Let's go ahead and weld up that other one. Now we're going to go over it with a 220 grit. Now we're going to use our interface with 320 grit and go over the whole surface to get it ready for primer. Apply a couple coats of etch primer. On the bottom side, we didn't put a plate because we need it to be nice and smooth because it's going to be visible when you open a trunk. So we put etch down, and now we're going to go ahead and put our high build over that. And then we're going to primer the whole entire trunk because we got a lot of body work, and this has been worked on before, so we want to make sure it's nice and flat and even. Then, once the primer is cured, we're going to use a dry guide coat and rub it into circular motions. Then we're going to use a 180 grit stick it on the opposite end of a 3M block, and we're going to block out in a cross hatch pattern all of the primer. Then while you're working, go ahead and blow it off to see what's going on. Anywhere where there's still black means we still have to stand. Now we need to pull out all of those 220 grit scratches, so we're going to reapply our guide coat once again in a circular motion. Now since we have everything blocked out, we're no longer going to be using this block anymore. For this, a DA sander is going to leave a softer and smoother scratch, and we have Astro that sent over their Onyx 6-inch palm sander. 3/32 stroke. That means it's going to leave a finer scratch. It's not going to be as rough. So that's what you want when you're doing body work that you're getting ready to prep for paint. We'll put an interface pad on it to soften up the scratch even more, and then our 320 grit. Now what that 3/32 stroke is doing is it's not rotating so rough. It's a little bit smoother, and it's not putting big cuts marks into the actual panel itself. And what that's going to do is when the paint lays over it, it's going to lay over even smoother because it doesn't have the aggressiveness of, let's say, a 3/8 or 3/16 DA. Now this area as well is going to get sanded with a 320. We're going to be using sealer over the whole entire trunk. And remember, sealer is like a thinned out primer that does not get sanded. I gotta say, real nice sander, fits in your hand really easy and doesn't give you that ache in the hand right here when you've been sanding for a long period of time. So, good job guys. And last but not least, go ahead and blow it off once again. Now we're gonna rinse down the panel and check for how level and flat the bodywork looks. Looks good to me. Now it's time to start on that quarter and that door. All right, so we're back here on the door. All right, so we're back here on the door and the quarter panel, and I listened to you guys, you are right. Put that plastic down over the soft top so you don't get that sanding dust in it. Luckily, we got it all out, so it was not a problem. So we're gonna take you through the steps now to get this primer ready for paint. Now here's the plan of attack. We're not going to use our block because we used it initially when we sanded down the whole car, and then we used it again when we did body filler. So we don't need to use it. We don't have any heavy hits. If we did have heavy hits and we had surfacer like we did on the trunk, then we would use our block. But we just want to smooth out the primer. So you kind of have to know when to use it and when you don't need to use it. We're going to once again use our DA sander 3/32 stroke, which I really kind of like it because it's kind of light. And then our interface pad, and then our 320 grit. We'll 320 grit the whole thing since it's gonna get sealer and we'll be good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll start with our quarter panel first. Now we're gonna use our guide coat. So once again in circles, and what this does is it gets into all the crevices. If we were just doing this, we're going in one direction. If we're doing this, we're going in one direction. But by doing circles, we're going into all directions, and it's going to show us exactly where we still need to stand and where we are good to go. Now we're using a 320 grit, and we might break through in some areas here and there, but that's perfectly okay because we're going to be using a sealer. If we weren't using a sealer, you want to make sure that you wouldn't break through because you could sort of have some sort of reaction when the base hits it. But a sealer will get you out of any issue, and it's good insurance and it's good for coverage. So here's our interface pad. We're just going to keep it as flat as we can. We don't want to go into it if this is the panel. We don't want to dig because that creates dents. As flat as we can, you can see how the interface pad is going to take the contours and smooth over. We're using this as our last step because we want it to be super smooth, and we're just kind of going over the surface to get it smooth for paint. We're not going full speed. No need to. Let's take a closer look. Do you see how all the black is still left in the primer in this area, and over here it's not? That is the purpose of the guide coat. It is showing us that this area is ready for paint if we're going to stop at 320. Now we're going to continue over the whole course of the quarter panel. All right, let's move on to the door. Same pattern, circular motions, rub that guide coat in. And we'll start once again with 320. Now once again, you can see why the guide coat matters. Do you see how it's still stuck in those little low spots there? That is everything, and that is how you get a smooth paint job, by smoothing out the whole panel. Now just a quick tip, around a door handle I won't use a DA because it's got that soft pad. I'll take my block out, and I love clean edges, and this is the first place that paint fills up, like around when you're putting primer or if this car's been painted before. So I'll just take that 320 and knock down those edges. And then I'll do the same thing on the door edge because paint builds up here too. This is why guide coat matters again. This looks like something got underneath the sandpaper, like a little rock or something, and it kind of scratched the surface. But once again, we're okay because we have enough material on here. We can sand it, and it's already shrunk. Which brings me to my next point. Once you let primer dry, let it dry for about a good day or so if you have time. That way it can shrink on its own. So if you give the primer enough time to shrink on its own, okay, then you can go ahead and sand it and get those sand scratches out so they don't show up later. It all sanded down nice and even, and if it didn't sand out, you could always just go back and reprime it. And then once we have it all sanded, we'll use a maroon scuff pad to go around all of our edges. Now we'll use scuff stuff and a maroon pad, and together we'll go ahead and wet down the whole panel just to pull off all the excess dirt. And just like that, we have two panels that are ready to paint. Now, what I want you to gain from what you just watched is to remember to follow that guide coat. You can't just sand something and expect it to be okay. You have to look with your eyes and look at the panel, because it's just not going to go away, and paint is just not going to fill it. So make sure you take the right steps to ensure that once you go to paint it, it's all ready to go. Now, in some areas of the panel, it looks just a little bit lighter. That's because on our second coat of primer, we made the primer just a little bit redder. So if we've sanded a little bit more in some areas, you'll see that the primer is just a touch lighter, which is no problem, and you wouldn't even notice it if you had gray, because it'd be the same mix. So that's going to wrap it up for the door and quarter panel. We'll go ahead and check out what we got on the rest of the parts. All right, so all these parts right here have undergone the same process as we just did on the trunk and on the quarter panel and door, and boy, do they look fantastic. Looks like they're ready for paint, and that's going to be on the next episode. So until then, this is Brian from Paint Society reminding you, don't overthink it, it's just paint. I'll see you guys on the next one. And a special thanks to Bodie Vision for coming and helping us out. Make sure you check out his channel. He does amazing metal fabrication work. And stay tuned and check out part 4. We'll be going over the fiberglass fenders and painting them and we'll also be painting the hood and glossing it out. Make sure you don't miss it. The results will stun you.